Hi, welcome to Friday Night Chats with Garage Geek, but unfortunately, it is Sunday morning. I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. So, Friday night, I came home from work exhausted. It was just an exhausting week. You've heard me complain about this, but it's getting near the end of the school year. The kids are just becoming more and more difficult. They don't want to do anything. Their friends don't do stuff, so they don't feel they have to do things. And this is when the stress is on the teacher because so many kids are failing. And you just need to get them to do just a little bit, just enough work that you can justify passing them, and they don't see it that way. And then you have to start having all these parent conferences, and almost all the parents are so sweet. Like, they're really nice and they understand. And like, I bend over backwards for the parents. Like, one parent came in and like I showed him and he didn't really understand it. So well, he understood it, but he was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to remember this, because I was showing where to get to the assignment. So I made a video and I walked through it step by step on the video for him. And I was like, but your child knows all this. Like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't mind looking foolish or being on video. I put videos up online all the time for the students. But it's just tiresome, right? And the kids become more snappish at you. They're just like, they're ready to go off on you at a moment's notice. If you tell them to put that phone away, they're just like, F you, no. So anyways, we got 3 more weeks, and I'm just so excited for the summer because I know I'm going to be refreshed, rejuvenated. I'll be able to do my Friday night videos on Friday night. I also, my husband and I and 2 friends, we went out dancing yesterday because there was a high energy performer called, I think, Jessica Williams. Yeah, and my husband and I have seen her before. He loves her. So we went, and a couple of friends joined us. And so, I was dancing. It was basically for 4.5 hours. So my voice is raw because you have to talk really loud to get people to hear whatever you're saying. And then, of course, my back is sore from moving around all night. Yeah. Gross. I wish I could edit that out. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. So yeah, I'm just like old and shouldn't go out dancing. But I do want to show you a picture. And also, when we went there, like, it was in this complex and they charged $10 for parking, and there was 3 of us, 3 different cars. And I felt bad because last time we went, they didn't charge parking. And there's tons of parking everywhere because it's inside this huge complex. And I just thought that is wrong to charge people for parking that way. But I got this amazing picture. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's coming off bluer on the thing, but on mine it's dark. So up here it's like kind of misty, and you can't really see the details that you see in your picture, which is strange. It's darker here and lighter on there. Oh, I forgot to show this. So I came out of my house about a week and a half ago, and one flower was in bloom from one of our plants, right? And I was like, it's spring. And we have these birds in our front yard. I don't know if I mentioned this. But every year they put their nests in the trees, and then they come out and they attack you when you walk by. Like, my dogs go out to go to the bathroom, they swoop down and knock them in the head. Like, they're vicious. I love them to death. They're protecting their babies, but it's hysterical because sometimes, like, one time I wasn't paying attention, like, whacked me in the head. And you know what? I'm having deja vu, so I definitely talked about this. So I'm going to move on. But I love those birds. Every morning I'm out. I'm looking to see where they are because they fly out on the line and they start like yammering at you. Like, they don't want you anywhere, and they don't realize that I own the house. I'm paying for it, not you. It's really funny. Oh, here's a picture of us when we were at a Thai food restaurant. I know you don't need to see all that. All right. So I've got a bunch of things to go over, and I want to keep this under 30 minutes. Right? I did an inaugural midweek chat, and So the whole point of that was to keep this below 30 minutes. So I've got a list to go through. Now, this morning, I was trying to catch up on my YouTube videos, and I'm going to keep doing that after this is done. But I saw a really impressive video by the Pressing Matters. Now, this is a new channel for me over the last few weeks. I've been listening to his vinyl recommendations. He is an audiophile, which is something I'm very interested in, and I just can't do, right? I don't have the money for that. But he reviews a product, which is called the Sugar Cube. And it's for high-end audiophiles who have albums that are less than stellar. And you can turn on the Sugar Cube, and it will eliminate clicks, hisses, and pops. And this is very controversial because what it does is it takes the signal, it changes it into a digital, then it converts it back to an analog, and it eliminates that. But what's fascinating about this little machine is you can turn it on and off, you can have settings, and one of the settings is you can just hear the eliminated clicks and hisses. I can't afford this. It's an expensive machine, but it was a fascinating review and a fascinating look at, this audiophile thing. And I was convinced after I heard in the video's description, he does an experiment. He does 2 songs, a vocal song and a classical music song. And he goes through all the incarnations within one song, and he tells you what it is, and then you listen to it. I highly recommend that you watch this video and you listen to those 2 tracks because it's fascinating. And even though I'm not an audiophile, I was convinced. I was like, dude, I want this little machine, but it's quite costly, right? It's like $1,500. But for me, it's still a fascinating look into the audiophile world. There is controversy right now because of the Pulitzer Prize. I think that I was supposed to take a picture of that. Oh, I did. Okay. So 2 book. Oh crap! I keep doing that. My finger always touches the button and it goes back to all the other pictures. So for the first time ever, I think the Pulitzer Prize has a tie. Now, in the past, when there's been controversy, they've just not published one for that year. But I've watched one YouTuber, and I'm about ready to watch this YouTuber. Sorry, I didn't get their names. But the one YouTuber I already watched is like, the book industry really, really complains when they don't have a Pulitzer Prize winner because it increases book sales. And so instead of not having a winner, they had a tie for the first time ever. Now, this one I read, Trust, and I reviewed it in one of my Friday night chats, but it's very controversial because so many people dislike it. And I understand why. So for, like, even, my friend that I mentioned over and over again, she lives in Iowa. We read and chat about books a lot. She couldn't get into this book. And even the reviewer online, the one that I read, he didn't like the book either. So this book is like very divisive. I loved it. And I haven't read Demon Copperhead, but this is supposed to be Barbara Kingsolver's best book. And unfortunately, this is really bad. I don't think I've ever. Oh wait, I did read Lacuna. I take that back, but I never finished it. I can't really speak about Barbara Kingsolver's, but I went ahead and I put on hold this book, so I'm waiting for it to come in. But basically, it's an American retelling of David Copperfield. Oh my gosh. Is that the right title? The famous Dickens novel? David Copperfield. Yeah, it's Field, right? Copperfield. I'm getting the flash of in my mind about the magician. Isn't his name David Copperfield? What is the Dickens book name? Dang it. I'm sounding so ignorant right now. Okay. But anyways, so it's a retelling of poverty in America in the Appalachians. And it sounds fascinating. And a lot of people are don't like this book because it's too episodic, which is it goes in line with the style of the original the Dickens book, because he would write it and put it out in the newspapers or journals of the time, and then he would, like David, went through a series of misadventures, moving on from one to the next, each becoming worse and worse, and that's what the author models it after, but they don't like it because of that. So I don't know. So I'm very excited to listen to Demon Copperhead and compare it to Trust. And I just think that it's fascinating that they had a tie. And I'm happy that they at least, they have a tie. And this is, going through YouTube, the book channels, because this is controversial, right? Especially since so many people disliked Trust. So what do you think about that? If you're, into books, would you please let me know in the comments? I watched 2 movies this week. The first one was Tetris, and I was very excited on Apple TV. I was very excited to watch this movie because I had read the comic. There was a graphic novel, and I should have grabbed it to show. But the graphic novel was on so many people's best of lists the year that it came out, and so I was excited to see the movie for that reason. And it was a very good movie. It's basically it's a documentary, that with live action documentary, basically like a docu-movie. It's very good. And what this guy had to go through to get the rights for Tetris, and battling big companies, and he had to go to Russia during the Cold War, and it was very dangerous, and it was a very interesting movie. If you have Apple TV, you absolutely should watch this. I'm not going to say this is a 10 out of 10 movie, but if you're interested in video games subject matter, or if you're interested in Cold War intrigue, which this is almost, it's almost a spy movie, but it's real. So if you're interested in any of that, you should watch this movie. And isn't that a cool graphic for the movie? So one of the things that he points out is when you play Tetris, after you stop playing, you still see blocks falling. You can't get them out of your head. It is absolutely true, and this graphic kind of brings that to life. Like when you're really heavily into Tetris, like it's happening. And I have a 3D Tetris that I can play with my glasses, and it has rhythmic beats and chants, and you're immersed in that. And when you take off that headset, forget it. For like the next hour or a few hours, you're just like, you're still in Tetris mode. Like you can't escape that world. Okay, so the next movie that I saw was, hold on, I lost my pictures. The next movie that I saw was, where are my pictures? Hi, Fred. Hi, Fred, come on. So my one of my dogs is coming to say hello. Okay, so the next movie that I saw was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And I'm going to say it's not a very good movie, right? So the reviews are correct. It's just like, but I will give it props for the world that it creates. So when they go into the quantum realm, they just build this world that is full of just stunning imagery and visual effects, and it's really, really gorgeous. Some of the dialogue is a bit clunky. It's very family oriented, which is fine. I don't think they quite pull it off. There's a trend where, I don't know if this sounds ageist, but where older people are like, kung fuing and karate chopping and kung fuing and karate chop. That sounded bad. Where they're using martial arts prowess, that even a young person, I think, would be hard pressed to be able to do. And so I'm kind of like, huh, what? So I get annoyed when I see that. But maybe there are some 75-year-olds out there who can karate chop and do flips and all those kind of things. I don't know. All right. Last picture I want to show is this one. I'm on the hunt for this album. So I've been, I don't know why, but I've been getting into some of this jazz, and I actually won a contest from Trevor's Flat Round and Spun. Um, it, it was really funny because I won and I didn't even know, and no one alerted me in my comments like, "Hey, you won a contest." And so I Trevor finally wrote in one of my comments, "Hey, you know you won my contest," and I almost missed, getting the prize. And it's, I don't join the contests to get the prizes, but it is nice to win, right? And so, I went, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't, miss the deadline, whatever. Uh, but one of the things I bought was a compilation CD of either 4 or 8 jazz albums. And I don't think I got this set. But look at that cover. I'm on the hunt for that vinyl. I want that vinyl. That's so awesome. Okay, as I was listening to Dune, like Dune has like weird writing, right? So I'm on the 5th book, and they mention, as like I was driving, so I hear the term vaginal pulsing and genital temperature, and I was like, so it reminded me of This Is Music's album, that, what was the name of that? Like genital grinding. Like there was an album, what was that album? And he was like, you got to listen to the lyrics of this album, and I did, and they were just, I listened to them as I was doing it kind of live to get my reaction. But anyways, and the lyrics were hysterical, and just when I was listening to Dune, I was like, why am I listening to that? This is so weird. There's some weirdly sexual stuff in Frank Herbert's books. But anyways, there was, moving right along, there was a Wendy's employee who he came around the counter and he hit an elderly man so hard it knocked him flying, and then he went into a coma, and a week later he died. Now I don't know what happened, and then the Wendy's employee just walked out, but he was a rather large guy, and I don't know if, like, the older man supposedly complained about his frosties, which, this is not funny. Okay, so old men can be crotchety and cranky. Everybody knows this. I don't know if he said a racial slur. I don't know, but the guy's reaction seemed very extreme, like to hit somebody so hard, especially someone elderly, and so that he got not flu, and then went into a coma and then died. It's like, what is going on? Like, I mean, I know the service industry, people have to put up with a lot, right? And people going into restaurants, they need to have manners, and they need to, even if you have a complaint, even a minor one, there's a way to handle it graciously. Like, hey, could you put a little bit more in, please? Instead of, what is all this? You know what? I get it. And old people, again, this is ageist, can be crotchety, right? I'm using my father as an example. Like, he was a complainer, and he would go in McDonald's for hours and just get like coffee refills and like sit there, and then his buddies would come in and they would do the same thing, and they'd all be sitting there in like a group and getting McDonald's free coffee, and they were crotchety as all hell. And so I understand it, right? I had to live with that. But I couldn't imagine like one of the people at McDonald's like punching my dad so hard that he flew and then went into a coma, right? I mean, my dad was a racist, and he was definitely crotchety, but I still loved him. And every time he said something racist, I would talk to him about it. And he's one of those hyper religious kinds, and like, he was a product of his generation, and that doesn't excuse that. I don't know why I'm going on about my dad right now. I guess because Saturday morning I attended a funeral for a friend's mom, and that's always sad, and it gets you thinking, about our own mortality and existence. But anyways, I look at it from that point of view. I don't know if that old man said a racist comment. I don't know. But even if he did he merit being killed over it. I just think he complained about his Frosties, in a crotchety old man way. It's quite shocking, right? So anyways, I'm going on too much about the Wendy's employee. And of course it's not Wendy's fault. I'm not saying because of the company Wendy's. It's that individual person that they hired. It's like, that's not how you deal with these kind of issues. I mean, come on. I had a video that got 100 views. I'm celebrating that. Like, I've had videos that have gotten 100 views in the past. Okay, yeah, but it's always nice because I'm like, wow, I was like waiting. It was at 95, then 97, then 98, and I was like, is it gonna get to 100? Sometimes they stall. Like, I've had them stall at like 95, and I'm just like, just get to 100. So I got a video with 100 views. Yay! If I want to make my husband laugh, I tell him, I'm gonna get on YouTube, and I'm gonna get all of my followers to da da da, or I'll tell him, I'm an influencer and I can get online and. I mean, we both laugh because it's just ridiculous. But if I want to make him laugh, like if he's in a bad mood, I get to say that, and he automatically starts laughing at me. Okay, so I might go on a tirade. Okay, you might hear me do that. I watched a video that kind of triggered me. So I love that term. It triggered me. But this is a follow-up. So there was a video where there were these people on a college campus, and they were advertising dog meat, and they had like pictures of dogs, and they were showing like organic and, what do you call it? Like cage free, like they were like they were allowed to range in their cages, and they had pictures of it, and they had like meat wrapped up in little packets, and they were selling it. And I mean, I obviously knew that, like, from the beginning, that like it was fake, and I knew what they were doing. But there was this older guy, and he had his little dog, and he was like, "What is this? This is disgusting!" And he started screaming and all. And I don't know why, it just tickled my fancy, because obviously they were trying, like, and they even explained it to him, like, the way you're feeling right now, that's the way we feel when people talk about killing pigs. Or chickens. And I just thought it was so funny, like, but it's true, right? The whole point about the video that I love is getting people to see your point of view, right? And that we have so much difficulty in this country, like, just seeing other people's points of view. We don't have to believe them. We just have to see them so that we can have a rational argument, right? And so this brings me to my rant. There's a YouTuber that I watch, and he's funny. He takes video clips of, things that are going viral, and then he, like, breaks them down, mocks them, or just explains them. And there was a video that Aubrey Plaza put out, and she was basically selling wood milk. Now, it's hysterical, right? It's a very funny thing, and it's poking fun at vegans and soy milk, and they want you to buy real milk, right? It's sponsored by the dairy industry. It's like one of those Got Milk campaign things, and I get it. It was very funny. I was laughing. I'm a vegan, right? It was funny. It is a little disturbing, right? Because, Aubrey Plaza is a comedian, and she's being paid by the milk industry. Okay, I get all that, right? And so the man, the YouTuber was saying, oh, the woke vegans are triggered by da-da-da, and he was, like, showing all the comments and video responses and how insane they are and how crazy da-da-da. And so let's watch this clip. And then he had, there was a gentleman, and he showed a clip of this gentleman who supposedly is crazy and woke and spewing insane ideas, like and he was very succinct. He was a little emotional, but he gave all these reasons, and they were all sound. There was nothing crazy about the way he presented the ideas or how he spoke or the ideas themselves. They were all sound ideas, but the YouTuber was presenting it as if the guy was insane. And I thought to myself, whoa, what is going on here? And then at the very end of the video, the YouTuber gives he says this: I am going to drink milk because I like it. I am going to eat meat because I like it. And I am going to continue using fossil fuels because I like it. And that was his argument. Like, he didn't present anything. All he did was ridicule the ideas that were presented. He didn't present counter arguments at all, which I would have liked. I would have liked to see a debate about it, right? And then the final argument that was presented was, I like it, therefore I'm right. And it just enraged me, right? Because all of the comments was just spewing filth about how this guy is justified and what he posted and his opinion and blah, blah. Your opinion doesn't matter when you're debating something. I mean, his logic is a 4-year-old's. I like cake. I'm going to eat cake all day long. And your parents going to step in and say, no, you're going to eat some broccoli right now. Okay? It doesn't matter whether you want to eat broccoli. There are so many destructive things in life that I like that I can't do all the time just because I like them. I can't spend my whole paycheck on comic books and records. I would like to do that, and sometimes I do it excessively. But my mature, rational mind has to kick in and say, wait, you have to pay some bills, right? And his whole argument, like, I like it, therefore it's right. This argument tires me out so much. Your opinion doesn't win a debate. And I started answering some of the comments and putting logic into it. And I had to stop myself. I'm like, wait, you're dealing with a bunch of irrational people who they won't even bother to look at two sides of an argument. And that's my problem. I wanted to see how he would present the argument against this, like against veganism. And his only argument was, I like it, therefore it's right. I like the taste of meat. Like, I get it if you like the taste of meat, but that's not an argument. Like, that's how I teach my middle schoolers and now high schoolers. You start with an opinion, and then you back up your opinion with facts. And he went the entire other route. Like, he didn't present any facts, and then he just put his opinion as the be-all and the end-all. And yeah, that video, the original Aubrey Plaza video didn't trigger me. That one did, because he's putting his ideas out there for people to latch onto. And, like, number one, the YouTuber can't be rational and present two sides of an argument and then make a choice, right? I would have respected that, even if you decided not to be a vegan, right? But you don't look at the other side rationally and then decide still to be on the side that you were already on. I'm totally fine with that. I'm not going to convince everyone to be a vegan. I don't want to do that. But can we have debates that actually are based on facts in this country? It's just so tiresome, and it's so sad. I think, oh no, I have one more thing to say. I know you're probably like, get off your high horse already. So I've been working on a video. I read the first 5 issues of Commandy, the comic, and I've been taking lots of pictures of the art. And this video is actually taking me way longer than I thought it would. Like, I've been putting hours and hours into this video, and I'm still not done. And you know what? I don't mind. It's a labor of love. But the only problem is I put out these art videos and I don't get very many views at all. In fact, those are some of my worst viewed videos. And so I'm always such a fool because I get in this mood where, like, let me just try again, because I'm passionate about it. And then, like, nobody watches it and I get slapped on the hand and I'm just like, okay, don't do that again until I do it again. So anyways, I'm working on this video. And it's, I don't know, it's going to be about 10 or 12 minutes. And all it is art and me talking under it. You never see me in the video. It's just all the art focusing, me describing it. So I hope you'll give it a chance when it comes out. I'm going to try to put it out today or tomorrow. I want to thank everybody. I have 15 seconds. I want to thank everybody for your support, and I got this under 30 minutes. Everybody have a good rest of your weekend.